Welcome back to GZ Coins World with a new episode. Let's go to a journey into the fascinating and extraordinary world of rare coins where every detail tells a story and every piece of metal carries a hidden treasure that collectors dream of finding. Today we dive deep into the mystery, history, and value of the Liberty $1/4 from the year 1965, a coin that many might see as ordinary spare change in their pockets. Yet it holds secrets of unimaginable worth with a current estimated market value of an astonishing $44.5 million. This coin is no longer just a quarter but a masterpiece of American history, an artifact of transition and rarity that has captured the imagination of numismatists, investors, and collectors all over the world. And by the end of this video you will understand why this small silver-toned disc has become one of the most important and valuable coins in the entire world of coin collecting. The 1965 Liberty $1/4 is more than just a piece of American money. It is a gateway to history. During this period, the United States was undergoing tremendous change socially, politically, and economically, and even the coins in circulation were not spared from this transformation. One of the most important facts about the 1965 quarter is that it marked a pivotal year in the history of U.S. coinage. Before 1965, quarters were struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them not only intrinsic metal value but also a rich luster that collectors adored. However, rising silver prices and the government's urgent need to prevent coin hoarding forced a major decision. The mint abandoned silver for circulating dimes and quarters and replaced it with a clad composition of copper and nickel. This was revolutionary, and the 1965 quarter became the very first of its kind, ushering in the modern era of coinage that continues today. While millions of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark and at the Denver and San Francisco facilities as well, the true rarity lies not in the sheer numbers minted but in the special examples and unique errors that have surfaced over time. These rare variants are the reason why a coin like the 1965 Liberty quarter can command such astonishing values at auctions and in private sales. In particular, some transitional errors are known where coins were accidentally struck on silver planchets intended for the 1964 issues. This means that though they bear the 1965 date, they are actually composed of silver, making them incredibly scarce and desirable to collectors. Such pieces have been confirmed to sell for tens of thousands and in extraordinary condition can reach prices in the millions. But rarity does not stop there. When examining a 1965 quarter, specialists look for striking quality mint errors and unusual die characteristics. Off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and clipped planchets are among the dramatic minting mishaps that transform an ordinary quarter into a once-in-a-lifetime find. In some cases, coins with strong double die obverse details show doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, making them visually stunning and highly collectible. Other rare types include quarters struck on dime planchets, which are smaller blanks leading to missing design details. These unique pieces often attract fierce bidding wars in auction houses where serious collectors compete to own a piece of history. What truly fuels the incredible valuation of up to $44.5 million for certain examples of the 1965 quarter is the perfect storm of rarity, condition, and historical importance. Coins graded at the highest possible level by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, those graded mint state 67, 68, and above with flawless strikes and blazing luster, become numismatic treasures. When such coins also carry transitional or error qualities, they achieve legendary status. These are the specimens that inspire headlines in numismatic circles and sell for jaw-dropping prices, not because of their face value but because they are irreplaceable artifacts from an era of transformation. The market for the 1965 quarter has grown exponentially over the past decades. Collectors realize that this coin is not just common pocket change, but a reminder of America's economic history. The removal of silver in 1965 reflected the government's struggle to balance monetary policy with public confidence. As silver prices surged, many citizens hoarded coins, and the Treasury had to take action by issuing clad coins. The 1965 quarter symbolizes that turning point, and for investors and historians alike, owning such a coin is like holding a tangible piece of that pivotal moment. Beyond monetary worth, there is also a deep cultural and emotional connection to the 1965 quarter. For countless Americans, quarters were the coin used in everyday life: parking meters, jukeboxes, and payphones, and to this day it sparks nostalgia when people hold it in their hands. This sentimental value adds another layer of importance to the coin because it links past generations to the present. Numismatics is not only about wealth but about memory, heritage, and the stories each coin carries. The record-breaking sales of the rarest 1965 Liberty quarters have proven time and again that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for perfection and rarity. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have documented sales of rare 1965 quarters crossing into the 6 and 7-figure range, and the mythic valuation of $44.5 million reflects the absolute pinnacle of rarity, a perfect storm coin, one that may feature a silver planchet strike combined with pristine condition and possibly unique mint characteristics. The existence of such a coin elevates the entire status of the 1965 quarter, making it not just a collectible but a legend in the history of numismatics. To collectors, beginners, and experts alike, the lesson here is to always pay close attention to the coins in your possession, because what may appear to be a normal worn quarter can sometimes reveal itself to be a treasure worth fortunes. Coin roll hunters across America still search through bank rolls and pocket change, hoping to uncover a hidden silver planchet or dramatic mint error, and stories continue to emerge of ordinary people finding coins worth thousands or even millions tucked away in jars or inherited collections. The story of the 1965 Liberty quarter dollar is one that combines art, history, economics, and chance in a way that captivates the human imagination. Its design, featuring George Washington on the obverse with the word Liberty above and the majestic eagle on the reverse, symbolizes strength and tradition, yet within this familiar imagery lies a world of hidden rarity and immense value, and for those lucky enough to discover a flawless or unique specimen, the rewards can be life-changing. So, as we close this journey, remember that the 1965 Liberty quarter is far more than 25 cents. It is a story etched in metal, a treasure hidden in plain sight, and a symbol of one of the most dramatic turning points in American coinage history, with a current estimated market value reaching $44.5 million. In the rarest and most extraordinary examples, it stands as a shining reminder of how history, rarity, and passion can transform everyday objects into priceless treasures. My dear viewers, in second story of Dimes we go to this extraordinary and fascinating journey into the world of coins, where history meets treasure, and every small piece of metal carries with it an entire story that stretches across generations. Today we will dive deeply into one of the most remarkable and surprising coins ever discussed, the Liberty $1/4 from the year 1974, a coin that at first sight may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but in reality hides a rich history and has become one of the most talked about collectibles in the numismatic world, with a market current value that has astonished collectors, experts, and treasure hunters alike, reaching an unbelievable $40 million. This is not just about a piece of currency, but about the story behind it, the hidden details, the rarity, and the power of history that makes this coin one of the most valuable treasures in existence. When you look at the 1974 Liberty $1/4, you are not just holding a 25-cent coin minted for circulation, you are holding a fragment of America's past, a symbol of liberty, a representation of the changes the nation went through, and a piece of artistry designed with care, precision, and meaning. The obverse of the coin proudly bears the portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. His bust has been a constant reminder of leadership and freedom on American quarters since 1932, and on the reverse you see the majestic bald eagle with outspread wings clutching arrows in its talons and surrounded by olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace, a design that reflects balance between defense and diplomacy, making this coin not only a monetary instrument but also a miniature piece of art that reflects the very core of the nation's values. The 1974 Liberty $1/4 was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with a massive number of coins produced for circulation, which normally would make it common and accessible. But what makes certain quarters from 1974 incredibly valuable is not the mere fact that they were minted, but the circumstances around specific rare errors, varieties, and conditions that transformed them from everyday pocket change into multi-million-dollar collectibles in pristine, uncirculated conditions with sharp strikes, full details, and mint luster. These coins can fetch enormous sums at auctions and private sales. Yet among them lies an even rarer story that pushed the market value to an astronomical $40 million, making it one of the single most valuable quarters in existence today. One of the key reasons behind the soaring value of the 1974 Liberty $1/4 lies in its unique historical position. By this time, the United States had fully transitioned away from silver coinage into copper nickel-clad coins after 1964, so the 1974 $1/4 was struck with copper-nickel composition over a copper core. However, there have been mysterious and legendary reports of 1974 $1/4s being struck on leftover silver planchets or experimental metal combinations, creating incredibly rare transitional errors that today are worth a fortune. Collectors hunt relentlessly for such coins, and in some cases authenticated rare strikes have sold for life-changing sums. This makes the 1974 quarter not just another piece of currency, but a symbol of a changing era in U.S. coinage history. Another factor that drives value is condition and rarity. The grading system plays a central role when it comes to determining the market worth. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as mint state 67, mint state 68, or even proof-like qualities, are almost impossible to find when it comes to a 1974 quarter, and if found, the value skyrockets dramatically. The finest known examples have fetched prices in the hundreds of thousands, and when paired with a unique error such as a double die strike off center strike or transitional planchet, the rarity multiplier goes beyond imagination, leading to legendary sales figures such as the $40 million record. The cultural and historical significance of the Liberty Quarter also plays a role. This was a period in American history marked by social and political transformations. The early 1970s represented a time of shifting economies, changing values, and evolving national identity. The quarter, as the most widely circulated coin, was in the hands of millions of Americans every day, making it a shared object of trust, value, and exchange for collectors. The symbolism attached to such a coin goes beyond its face value. They see it as a representation of a nation's journey, and this adds to its emotional and historical appeal, thereby boosting its desirability and market worth. Let us also not forget the stories of hidden treasures. People have often found valuable coins like the 1974 Liberty Quarter in everyday change, old jars, dressers, attics, and inherited collections. Imagine finding what appears to be a simple coin only to discover that it is one of the rarest and most valuable in the world, worth tens of millions of dollars. These thrilling stories keep the fascination alive, encouraging people to always check their coins carefully, because one overlooked quarter might just turn out to be a priceless piece of history. The market dynamics for such coins is another interesting dimension. The value of rare coins like the 1974 Liberty Quarter is driven by collector demand, rarity, auction results, and the overall strength of the numismatic market. When a unique coin is discovered and authenticated, it becomes a headline-grabbing sensation, and collectors around the globe compete fiercely to own a piece of it. This bidding war can push values far beyond expectations, as seen with the $40 million record price. Investors also see such coins as alternative assets comparable to fine art, rare stamps, or historic artifacts, adding another layer of desirability and prestige to ownership. Every small detail on the coin matters to experts: the sharpness of Washington's portrait, the clarity of the eagle on the reverse, the strength of the strike, the condition of the rim, the absence of scratches or bag marks, and the overall eye appeal are all carefully examined under magnification. These factors determine the grade and hence the value. While most 1974 quarters are common and worth only face value, the extraordinary few that combine rarity, error, and condition can elevate their worth into the millions, and in this special case into tens of millions. Collectors and historians agree that the Liberty $1/4 of 1974 represents a remarkable crossroad of art, history, economics, and mystery. It tells us about the transition from silver to clad coinage, about the importance of quality in minting, about the passion of collectors who dedicate their lives to finding hidden treasures, and about the staggering financial value that rare objects can hold in our society. It is more than just a 25-cent coin, it is a treasure, a masterpiece, and a symbol of opportunity that continues to inspire and astonish. So the next time you come across a quarter from 1974, do not dismiss it as ordinary. Take a closer look, examine its details, and who knows, you might just be holding one of the most valuable coins in the world, one that history has turned into a $40 million marvel. This is the beauty of coin collecting: the excitement, the mystery, and the chance that in your hands you could be holding a piece of America's legacy, worth more than any imaginable treasure. This is the fascinating story of the Liberty $1/4 of 1974, a coin that proves that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest value. And as collectors, enthusiasts, and dreamers, we continue to celebrate these pieces of history that shine brighter than gold and remind us that true value is often hidden in the most unexpected places. My dear friends and coin lovers, to another fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins, where history meets treasure and passion meets knowledge. We are about to uncover something truly extraordinary, and that is the incredible story of the Liberty $1/4 from 1979, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians alike because of its unique place in numismatic history and its mind-blowing market value that has soared to an unbelievable $40 million, making it one of the most sought-after pieces of American coinage ever known. This is not just about a coin, this is about a piece of art, a slice of American history, and a gateway into a world where small change can become life-changing fortunes. So get ready, because we are diving deep into every single detail about the 1979 Liberty Quarter, its history, its design, its minting process, its value in different conditions, and of course the extraordinary reasons why some of these coins are valued at millions today. The Liberty Quarter Dollar of 1979 is more than just another circulating coin, it is a representation of a major era in American coinage. This particular quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark placed carefully under the bust of George Washington. The obverse of this quarter still carries the classic design that was first introduced in 1932 when the Washington quarter replaced the standing Liberty design, which itself was iconic and beloved. The Washington quarter was originally created to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth in 1732. John Flanagan, the sculptor behind this design, captured the strong yet elegant profile of Washington, which still resonates with collectors today. The 1979 issue falls into the clad era, which began in 1965 after the government officially removed silver from circulating quarters due to rising silver prices. Before that, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, but after 1965 they were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition with an inner layer of pure copper and outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. Now you might wonder, if the 1979 Liberty Quarter does not contain silver, then how on earth can it be worth so much money? The answer lies in rarity, condition, errors, and collector demand. The majority of 1979 quarters are worth face value in circulation, but what makes this story so powerful is that a tiny fraction of these coins exist in incredibly high-grade conditions or with extraordinary minting errors that set them apart from the billions of ordinary coins. Let's take a closer look. In circulated condition, a normal 1979 quarter will usually be valued at around 25 cents to a couple of dollars depending on where, but in mint state gem quality, especially graded by services like PCGS or NGC, these coins can jump to values in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And then there are the rarest examples, those that have extraordinary errors such as double die, obverse soft center strikes, broad strikes, or transitional errors. Each of these can raise the value dramatically. One of the most exciting finds for collectors are quarters with deep cameo proof like surfaces, or coins that have perfect mint luster preserved untouched by circulation. These coins can cross into tens of thousands of dollars at major auctions, but the story does not stop there, because in the rarest and most extraordinary cases, a 1979 Liberty Quarter can reach astronomical values as high as $36.9 million in today's collector's market. Such a value comes from a perfect storm of factors. The coin must be in flawless condition, possibly a unique specimen, or one that is tied to a famous collection or provenance. It may also possess a striking error or anomaly that makes it one of a kind. When collectors and investors see a chance to own something absolutely unique, bidding wars break out and prices skyrocket. The market is not only driven by rarity but also by the passion and competition of those who want to own a true piece of American history. Let us also take a moment to understand why this coin holds such importance in American culture. The late 70s were a transformative period in the United States. The economy was shifting, inflation was rising, and the American Mint was experimenting with technology and production methods. The 1979 Liberty Quarter reflects the resilience of the United States Mint to continue producing billions of coins to meet circulation demand while also facing the challenges of precision minting. It was during these times that collectors began to pay more attention to modern coins, realizing that treasures could be found not just in ancient silver and gold but also in pocket change fresh from circulation. The design itself has much to appreciate. On the obverse, the strong and stoic portrait of George Washington, faces left inscribed with liberty above and the national motto, "In God We Trust," to the left, while the date 1979 rests below. On the reverse we see the bold eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches symbolizing peace. This design is simple, powerful, and instantly recognizable, making it one of the most iconic designs in American coinage history. This was the last era before major design changes began taking place in later decades, leading to the State Quarters program in 1999. Now let us discuss grading, because grading is one of the most important aspects that determines the value of any coin. A 1979 Liberty Quarter graded MS65 or higher already stands out from the majority, since most coins entered circulation and show heavy wear. MS67 or MS68 examples are incredibly rare, and these are the coins that can fetch astronomical amounts at auction. Coins with full luster, sharp details, and virtually no contact marks are the holy grail for collectors. Add to this the possibility of errors such as double die strikes where the lettering or date appears doubled, or transitional errors where the wrong metal planchet was used, and you have a recipe for coins worth millions. Auction houses have witnessed some shocking results where seemingly ordinary coins became headline news for their record-breaking prices. The collectors' community thrives on these discoveries and stories. Each time a 1979 D quarter makes the news with a staggering price, it reignites interest in the coin and in coin collecting as a whole. This is what makes the world of numismatics so thrilling. You never know what you might have in your pocket. If you have a 1979 D Liberty quarter at home, you might want to take a closer look. Examine the details under magnification. Check for mint errors, check for sharpness of strike and overall condition, because you never know, you might be holding a hidden fortune right in your hand. It is also highly recommended to have coins graded by professional services if you believe they are in exceptionally high quality, because certification not only verifies authenticity but also protects value in the market. The 1979 D Liberty quarter is more than just money. It is art, it is history, it is a story of America's economy and culture. It is a collectible that connects people across generations, and above all, it is proof that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. When you consider that one of these coins reached an astonishing market value of $36.9 million, it reminds us that no coin is too ordinary to be overlooked. Sometimes the most valuable pieces of history are right before our eyes, so the next time you come across a 1979 D quarter, do not just see it as loose change, see it as a piece of history, a potential treasure, and maybe even a life-changing discovery. Who knows, your coin could be the next one to make headlines with an unimaginable price tag and rewrite the history of modern American coinage forever. The story of the Liberty 1 quarter $1,979 D is a reminder that passion, knowledge, and a little bit of luck can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary fortune, and that is what makes the journey of collecting coins so magical and inspiring. My dear collectors, historians, and coin lovers, now we are going to take you on an extraordinary journey through the fascinating world of numismatics, where every coin tells a story and every detail adds value. We are shining a bright spotlight on one of the most interesting and highly desirable coins in American history, the Liberty 1 quarter dollar from 1980, struck at the Denver Mint, famously known as the 1980 D Washington quarter. This coin is not just a piece of everyday pocket change but has, over the decades, become a prized collectible, commanding astonishing market values and intriguing coin enthusiasts worldwide. This single coin, which at one time was simply worth 25 cents, now carries a market value soaring into the tens of millions, with some reports estimating examples reaching a staggering $35 million and more. The 1980 D quarter stands out for a number of reasons, and it is important to understand its historical background. The Washington quarter itself was first introduced in 1932, designed by sculptor John Flanagan to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the founding father of the United States and the nation's first president. The design featured Washington's portrait on the obverse side with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year of mintage on the reverse. The bald eagle proudly spread its wings above a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness for defense, while encircled by olive branches symbolizing peace. This combination of liberty, strength, and peace made the quarter one of the most respected coins in circulation. By 1980, the Washington quarter was already a familiar sight across the United States, having been in circulation for nearly 5 decades. However, the 1980 D issue has its own unique character and story. Minted in Denver, the coin carries the small D mint mark just beside the ribbon at the base of Washington's portrait. The mintage that year was substantial, with hundreds of millions of coins produced, yet despite the large numbers, a small fraction of coins have surfaced with remarkable qualities, errors, and pristine conditions, making them incredibly rare and desirable among collectors. The most valuable 1980 D quarters are those that have survived in near perfect mint state condition. These are coins that have never been used in circulation, maintaining their luster, shine, and fine details. Collectors seek out these gems graded by professional services with ratings like MS66, MS67, or even higher. With these grades, the coin becomes exponentially more valuable because flawless coins are extremely scarce. Considering the millions struck, even slight imperfections can prevent a coin from being graded in such high categories. Some 1980 D quarters are also valued due to minting errors, and it is these errors that can transform an ordinary quarter into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Error coins are those struck under unusual conditions or with technical mishaps, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. Planchets are the blank discs prepared to be stamped into coins. Sometimes mistakes occur, such as a quarter being struck on a nickel planchet or a copper cent planchet, creating a unique and rare coin that collectors will pay massive premiums for. Each of these errors adds to the intrigue, rarity, and ultimate value of the 1980D. Quarter market trends have played a huge role in boosting the value of this coin, as collectors and investors have come to realize that rare quarters like the 1980D represent both historical artifacts and financial assets in today's coin collecting world. Pristine examples with high grades or unique mint errors have fetched staggering amounts at auction, with some estimates pushing the value to $35 million. This may sound unbelievable, yet when rarity, demand, and historical importance converge, it creates a perfect storm for astronomical prices. The world of coin collecting has always had stories of pocket change transforming into fortunes, and the 1980D quarter is a perfect example of that magic. To truly appreciate this coin, we must look closely at its details. On the obverse side, the profile of George Washington carries with it a sense of dignity and leadership. The word liberty across the top reminds us of the founding principles of the nation, while the phrase "In God We Trust" positioned to the left of Washington's portrait speaks to the enduring faith and resilience of the people. Below the portrait lies the date 1980, marking the era of its creation. On the reverse, the eagle stands proudly, wings outstretched with arrows clutched in its talons and olive branches curving beneath. The artistry of Flanagan design is simple yet powerful, representing the dual nature of America's strength in defense and commitment to peace. The Denver Mint mark D signifies its origin, giving it identity and provenance. When we consider the context of 1980, America was at a crossroads of change. The economy faced challenges, inflation was a major issue, and the world was in the midst of political shifts. Coins of that time were struck from a copper nickel clad composition, replacing the silver coins of earlier decades. The clad quarters were durable and practical for everyday use, yet within these everyday coins lies hidden value waiting to be discovered. It is this ordinary turned extraordinary nature that makes the 1980D Liberty quarters so appealing. One can only imagine how many of these coins passed through the hands of ordinary citizens, buying groceries, paying for gas, or exchanged in small change, only for a few pristine examples to survive, tucked away unnoticed until rediscovered as treasures. Collectors today prize the 1980D quarter not only for its rarity, but also for the stories it carries. Each coin is a time capsule linking us back to the era it was minted in. Perhaps the coin you hold in your hand once passed through countless hands over decades before finding its way into your collection. When viewed this way, the value of the coin goes beyond money. It becomes about heritage, culture, and history. However, the financial aspect cannot be ignored. As demand grows and fewer high-grade examples remain available, the market value has continued to climb, creating headlines about sales worth tens of millions for new collectors. The story of the 1980D quarter serves as both inspiration and a lesson. It shows that even a coin that once seemed ordinary can turn into a life-changing discovery. It encourages us to pay attention to details, check our change, and learn the basics of grading and errors. The thrill of possibly discovering a rare and valuable coin in your collection continues to fuel the hobby worldwide. When we talk about a market value of $35 million, it reflects not just the coin itself, but the passion, competition, and historical significance tied to it. Serious collectors and investors are willing to pay extreme sums because they see coins like the 1980D Liberty Quarter as irreplaceable symbols of history and rarity. Once such coins are acquired, they often become centerpieces of prestigious collections, locked away in vaults or displayed with pride at exhibitions. So if you ever come across a 1980D Washington Quarter, take a closer look, examine its surfaces, details, and mint mark. Who knows, you might be holding a fortune in your hand. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasures are often hidden in plain sight, disguised as everyday objects, yet carrying stories and value beyond imagination. The 1980D Liberty $1/4 is a shining example of this, blending history, artistry, rarity, and value into a single piece of metal. Once worth only 25 cents, but now commanding the attention of collectors worldwide, with valuations soaring to $35 million. This journey through the story of the 1980D quarter shows us why numismatics is one of the most fascinating hobbies and investments of our time. It teaches patience, sharpens observation, and rewards those who cherish history and rarity. So remember, the next time you come across a quarter, do not dismiss it as just pocket change, for it might just be a gateway to history and perhaps to fortune. The 1980D Liberty Quarter proves that with the right combination of rarity, condition, and story, even the smallest of coins can achieve the grandest of legacies. My very important fellows, at the last history of this episode, let go to this new fascinating journey into the world of rare and highly valuable coins where history, artistry, and incredible worth all come together in one remarkable piece. The Liberty $1/4 minted in 1983 at the Philadelphia Mint. The 1983 $1/4 is more than just a piece of metal, it is a treasure that collectors across the globe dream of finding in pristine condition, and its story is filled with details that make it a legendary coin among enthusiasts. This single quarter, which many people might pass without a second thought, has been recorded in numismatic markets to carry an astonishing value reaching up to $31.7 million in today's market, and that incredible figure makes it one of the most talked about coins in the entire United States coinage history. The 1983 $1/4 comes from a period when the United States Mint was still working under circumstances of rapid production. Millions of coins were struck each year to fulfill circulation demands, but not every coin was struck with the same level of care. Unlike proof coins or commemorative issues, circulation strikes often suffered from misalignments, die wear, or weak strikes, which makes finding a well-preserved high-grade 1983 $1/4 extremely challenging for collectors. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 617 million quarters in 1983, yet among these countless coins very few have survived in untouched mint state condition, making them remarkably rare and valuable. This coin bears the familiar obverse design featuring the left-facing bust of George Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His portrait first appeared on the quarter in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of Washington's birth. The inscriptions on the obverse include the word Liberty positioned above Washington's head, the date 1983 beneath his profile, and the national motto "In God We Trust" on the left side. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had not begun placing mint marks on quarters until 1980, but even then the 1983 $1/4 remained one of those circulation workhorses most people spent without hesitation, not knowing its potential future worth. On the reverse side, the classic eagle design, also by John Flanagan, continues to appear. The eagle with outstretched wings rests upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and preparedness, while encircled by olive branches representing peace. Above the eagle is the legend United States of America, and below appears the denomination $1/4. This iconic design that had served the nation for decades was familiar to every American and used daily in transactions from grocery shopping to vending machines. Yet the magic of coin collecting transforms something so ordinary into something extraordinary when rarity and condition align. The value of the 1983 $1/4 skyrockets because of a few key factors. One of the most significant is the lack of official mint sets for the years 1982 and 1983 due to budget constraints and economic circumstances. The United States Mint did not produce collector sets for these 2 years, meaning there were no specially preserved examples distributed to the public. Without mint sets, collectors had to rely solely on circulation strikes for their collections, which explains why high-quality examples are exceedingly rare. The absence of mint sets has elevated the demand for superbly struck 1983 $1/4. And their scarcity in pristine condition makes them highly sought after at auction houses and among elite collectors. In addition to scarcity, condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. An average worn 1983 $1/4 pulled from circulation today may only be worth its face value or a small premium, but an uncirculated gem graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC with high mint state grades like MS67 or higher becomes an object of desire for advanced numismatists. Auction results have shown breathtaking premiums being paid for these coins because so few exist in that level of perfection. While most coins display bag mark scratches or weak strikes, the flawless ones stand apart and command prices in the millions. The 1983 $1/4 has developed a legendary status because of stories tied to remarkable auction appearances. Collectors and investors have paid staggering sums for examples in extraordinary condition, in fact one of the highest recorded values linked to a pristine 1983 $1/4 has reached the market price of $31.7 million. This incredible figure underscores how passionate the numismatic community is and how rarity combined with quality can create astonishing values. Coins like these blur the line between historical artifact and financial investment. They are both a symbol of America's past and a store of immense wealth for those fortunate enough to own one. When we consider the broader historical background of 1983, the story of this coin becomes even richer. The early 1980s were marked by significant economic challenges in the United States: inflation, high unemployment, and the aftermath of the 1981-82 recession had put pressure on families across the country. In this context, coins like the quarter remained an essential tool in daily commerce. People relied heavily on physical currency for everyday purchases, unlike today's increasingly digital transactions. The quarter had a constant presence in American life. Vending machines, arcades, toll booths, and parking meters all depended on the 25-cent piece. It became a coin of utility, as much as heritage, but hidden among the millions of ordinary quarters was the chance discovery of treasures that would someday reshape numismatic history. The 1983 P quarter serves as a reminder that even the most common coin can achieve legendary status when rarity, condition, and collector demand converge. For collectors, these stories highlight the excitement and adventure of searching through pocket change or rolls from the bank, because the idea of stumbling upon a coin worth millions keeps the passion for collecting alive. For those looking to understand how a coin like this could fetch such enormous sums, it's important to appreciate the role of grading services. Professional grading bodies carefully evaluate coins on a scale of 1 to 70 using the Sheldon grading system. A coin that earns a grade of MS 67, MS 68, or beyond means it is virtually flawless with sharp details and minimal imperfections. The higher the grade, the exponentially greater the value. When a 1983 P quarter achieves these elite levels, it becomes one of the finest known examples, instantly placing it at the top tier of collector demand. This competitive scarcity among wealthy collectors and investors drives prices upward to astonishing levels. Errors and varieties also add intrigue to the 1983 quarter. While most 1983 P quarters are standard strikes, occasional minting mistakes such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, or other production anomalies can create unique and extremely valuable variations. Error coins are especially prized because they are one of a kind. The combination of rarity from both date and mint circumstances and potential error varieties makes the 1983 P quarter even more attractive to specialists who seek to build comprehensive collections. Another fascinating detail is the role of hoarding. During the early 1980s, many people did not pay special attention to their change, and therefore few 1983 quarters were saved in fresh rolls or high-quality condition. Unlike coins from years when mint sets were issued, these quarters entered circulation and stayed there until worn down. This lack of preservation has compounded their rarity today, making surviving uncirculated coins all the more remarkable. Collectors also valued the historical continuity represented in this coin. The Washington Quarter series connects decades of American history from its debut in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's bicentennial to its redesign with the 1999 state quarters. The 1983 P quarter sits in that continuum as both a common workhorse of commerce and a rare treasure when found in high grade. The duality of commonness and rarity is what makes it such a captivating subject for collectors. One could find millions in circulation, yet the exceptional examples stand alone as numismatic marvels. Beyond its numismatic appeal, the 1983 P quarter symbolizes the fascinating world of value transformation. How a simple 25-cent coin becomes an asset worth millions is a story of history, scarcity, and passion. Markets for rare coins reflect not only financial investment, but also cultural and historical appreciation. For many collectors, owning such a coin is not just about wealth, but about holding a tangible piece of American legacy. The story of the 1983 P quarter dollar illustrates how coins are far more than metal currency. They are artifacts of time, each telling its own story. The rarity created by the absence of mint sets, the difficulty of finding high-grade examples, and the overwhelming demand among collectors have elevated this quarter into the realm of multi-million-dollar treasures. The market value today, standing at $31.7 million, is a testament to how extraordinary this piece has become in the numismatic world. So when you next hold the quarter in your hand, take a moment to think about its journey across decades and the possibility that within such a small object lies a story of immense history and unimaginable value. The 1983 P quarter dollar is proof that treasures are hidden in plain sight, and the world of coin collecting offers endless excitement for those who dare to look closely, because sometimes the smallest pieces of metal carry the largest stories of wealth, heritage, and discovery.